All right, what is good, team? We are officially inside the 7-day out mark of show one for the season, so peak week essentially. So I want to do this sort of prep series vlog as like peak week edition. Take you guys through the highs and lows of peak week, the realities of what peak week actually looks like, the things you should be doing, the things you shouldn't be doing, in an effort to kind of give you guys the tools needed to go and nail your own peak weeks. And I think a lot of what we'll do this week is obviously highly specific to me and my circumstances. Obviously being a weight capped athlete, 91.6. Current weight this morning, 92.3, so like 0.7 over. But we've still got lots of fluid to drop off. We've still got lots of food volume that we can play with to reduce just overall weight in the GI tract. Some fluid manipulations potentially towards the back end of the week. Sodium manipulations, and just a reduction in overall systemic fatigue. So we'll probably have a couple of days off training, some lighter training as we move towards the back end of this week as well, just to drop off some inflammation too. So all things considered, we've got plenty of levers that we can pull in terms of adjusting body weight to make weight for Saturday at around midday. The last couple of sessions getting stuck in here, kicking this day one off of this week, upper body. So I'll show you guys how it looks. Nothing different, nothing crazy. We're not doing any extra work. We're doing the same things, following the program, making logical progressions where we need to, and that's pretty much it. So first working set here, seated cable row, 2 sets, 10 to 15 reps. One load or one plate heavier on this session because I did get all reps last week. So why not? We'll take it. Progression's there. Oh, that's heavy. All right, so 2 sets down on the seated row. Did take a little load progression and a logical rep reduction as load goes up, reps come down most of the time. So onto 2 sets lat pull down. Again, just going a small load jump here, just to kind of keep things moving along. Don't want those reps super high. Those super high rep sets are just so fatiguing cardiovascularly. So little load jump here, keep the reps sort of in that 10 to 12 range. I'll probably get 12 on this first one, aiming for maybe 9 or 10 the second set. But just really focusing on like nailing my execution on these, really good contractions, really good squeeze. Not trying to do anything overly crazy in this week. And I think that's where so many people go so wrong, training on peak week, trying to do crazy stuff, trying to do tons of drop sets or supersets, or just trying to like, you know, sculpt their muscles in some fashion in this last week like it's gonna make any difference. When in reality, all the work is done in the build phases, the off-season phases, where you develop all that new tissue. Contest prep phases is where all of the fat loss happens. You kind of remove that fat in order to show the physique you've developed underneath and the new muscle tissue you've built. And then these last couple of weeks are really just about managing fatigue as best as possible in order to hang on to that muscle tissue while calories are low, while output is high, to bring your best physique to the stage. So the last compound movement for the pull session of this upper body workout, incline lever rows. So just taking a 5 kilo load jump on here. It is only one set. I did get all my reps last week, so again, rather than the reps getting crazy high, little 5 kilo load jump just to kind of keep me in that 8 to 12 rep range before we finish on one set of the lat pullovers. And I guess just something to note with training on peak week is just how low energy is. I guess it depends on, you know, where you are as an athlete. Again, like I said, having to make weight this week, we certainly don't have the advantage of being able to pull food up and, you know, restore glycogen, restore energy. So unfortunately, it's just a period where you need to embrace the suck. And I would implore you, if you are someone that's in my position, that you kind of have to embrace it. There is no getting around it. There is lots of suffering involved, but I think the suffering is a lot of the times like mental, and if you choose to suffer, then you will suffer. But you need to kind of find, I guess, some joy in the suffering, and I guess really sit in it and kind of ask yourself some deep questions as to why you're doing it, what the outcome is that you want to see, and then really focusing on how you can, I guess, get the most out of it. Because if you choose to suffer, if you just choose to, you know, tell yourself how bad it is and how much pain you're in, it's only going to hurt worse. So if you just take it day by day, enjoy it as it comes, and it's only for a short period of time. So if you are someone who's looking to make a career out of bodybuilding, you kind of need to get good at dealing with that. So that's what we do anyway. But last set, or only set, aiming for around 10 reps here. We'll see how it feels. But for the most part, pretty low energy. Training's pretty hard today, so I don't know if you guys are getting much out of me today, or this week for that matter. But it's just head down, doing the work. All right, last movement to finish off here, lat pullovers. So load stays the same for this one. I didn't get all reps last week, so rather than push it, I'm gonna just try and get on my reps. Got 13 last week, I'll try to get 15 this week. Really just trying to keep it strict. Big nasty stretch on these, open up the lats. I find this really helps with posture as well, especially with posing, to open up, especially like my front doubles and my front relaxed poses. But once we finish here, then we're onto some chest. So a couple sets of flies, a couple sets of machine press, and then one set of dumbbell press to wrap this up, and then we'll try and do some posing if I've got the energy to do so. We'll see. 15 reps, we got it. Still making progress, so we're good. Despite the lack of energy. But back's done, time for chest. Machine tries to kick this chest portion of the session off. 2 working sets here, 10 to 15 reps. Really just emphasizing like good quality contractions here. I think it's so underrated, especially as a competitive physique athlete. Having good muscular control, being able to contract the muscles that you are training, I think translates really well to your posing, because I think being able to pose is really the thing that highlights your physique on stage and the tissue that you developed. If you can't present your physique in a way that highlights all that hard work, then what's the point? Training just for the sake of training. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. So for me, I really want to get the most out of everything that I can do. So if there is some benefit to actively controlling contractions under load, and that translating to posing on stage, being able to present my physique as best as possible, kind of makes sense to do so. Anyway, last set. We're on. Second to last exercise to finish this off, machine chest press. This is actually really nice last week. Didn't push the load too hard just because I kind of still trying to figure out the movement last week. It's the first time I used it, so I probably undershot the load a little bit. So I'm going to take a look, what do we got, like 10 kilos either side this week. And I have to just kind of push it a little closer to fair. Get it closer to the rep target, the RR target that we had set, because I don't want to go over it too much. And then 1 set on dumbbell press to finish this off. And we are done. Got a little bit of time left, so we may do some posing. We'll just take it easy. Nice. So it was actually same reps as last week, but 10 kilos heavier either side. Ooh, take that progress. Dumbbell press to finish, 1 set. What did we have last week? 50 for 10. Rep spread being 8 to 12. I'm gonna try and get 11 or 12, or at least match 10 on 50s. No need to try and do anything crazy. All the work is done. It's just about getting to the finish line now. And I guess it's almost a good point to kind of reflect on everything that we've done over the last, it's almost been 6 months of this prep now, and it's really down to the wire in terms of just putting the final touches on, all of the stuff that happens now. And I suppose this is where I see a lot of maybe new athletes come undone in this final couple of days, final week. It's just a crazy amount of stress, trying to do too many things, trying to change the plan, or not having a real structured approach to the way they walk themselves to stage, and whether that's having a coach, whether it's not having a coach. I think it really just boils down to how mentally strong you can be, how resilient you can be, and how well you can deal with and tolerate stress. And so much of this final phase is just alleviating stress that's accumulated over the past 3, 4, 5, 6 months of dieting and prep altogether. So in order to bring your best physique to the stage, it's really about doing what most people do, like doing the opposite of what most people think you need to do. Is like, we're not trying to do things to bring about more fatigue or stress, we're trying to do the opposite and alleviate stress so that we can drop off any fluid retention, any inflammation, and just get to the stage recovered and fresh. Because there's nothing worse than just pushing yourself to the brink of exhaustion all the way until show day, and then somehow thinking you're gonna have the energy to be able to get up on stage and perform at your best and look your best. 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna work in your favor. So anyway, to get this done, we'll go straight in. 10, 11, 12 reps, see what happens. Same reps as last week, but certainly not a terrible effort to maintain performance, considering that everything else this session had progressed. This being the last, the heaviest, and the hardest exercise of this entire session, I'll take that as a win. So that's upper body done for this peak week edition of the Prep Series vlog. Got legs tomorrow, which is gonna be the last leg session of this week, so it gives us about like, what, 5, 6 days of recovery for the lower body to get them nice and fresh, drop off a lot of that inflammation for Sunday. But I'm gonna use this opportunity each day just to kind of go through my posing, go through my routine. We've chosen a song. You guys will see that at the show. I'm gonna keep that under wraps. But just an opportunity to just kind of have a little practice, have a little flow, go through some poses that we really like, and just kind of put the finishing touches on this prep. But as always, guys, if you enjoy the videos, if you're getting any value at all, it means the world to me if you show some support to the videos, show some love to the channel, like, comment, share, most importantly, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in here tomorrow for legs.